time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back and happy Monday. All right, guys. Well, we're back for Hot Messy Topics. And I wanted to say, because next Monday, we'll be back at 7 p.m. for our Let's Whine About It. And that's for our members only. So I know that I've been saying this all week, but I just wanted to keep you guys posted. Jason had this idea and I thought it was incredible because we were complaining about BravoCon and the tickets and things that are happening out in the world and how expensive everything is. So we changed the fee from two fees, one $9.99 and another one $2.99 to just a set $2.99 price, which is so amazing. And if you guys go and join, I put the link in top of or in the live chat, I pinned it. But YouTube is offering 50% off, meaning it's only $1.49 right now. So go click the link and then join us next Monday for Let's Whine About It. And I have some stuff to talk about because there's obviously, and I saw some of you guys messaged me about, I went live yesterday with Pops and there was somebody who was trying to troll my chat. I don't mess around with family and we'll talk about it on Let's Whine About It. I don't want to be dramatic on here. And this is more for like Bravo and other pop news. So don't forget to smash that like button and let's welcome Jason. Hello.
Hi.
All right. Drama for no reason.
God, drama for no reason. That was kind of ridiculous. I know what you're referring to.
But I was talking to Elaine Hargate about it. And I was telling her, like on here, I have so much fun and it's pop culture. Why not have fun with it, right? But when it comes to family, you don't with my family. Ever.
No, and what's the point, and like how immature for someone of that self-proclaimed stature.
Right.
So
exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, with that, I wanted to talk about a lot of things that are happening in the Bravo world. There have been some things that have been debunked, but then also some new spinoffs. We have a lot to cover. So Jason, where do you think we should start?
Well, let's talk about, the news that we've heard, which is, I think it's kind of exciting. We've kind of seen this idea grow and we've been talking about it for a long time, but it looks like Tom and Tom are getting a spinoff of their new restaurant, Shorts and Sandy's. Apparently filming is going to be starting soon, if not already. Then you and I were talking about how are they going to do this? Like, how are they going to integrate this? Because we have talked about forever how like Vanderpump Rules focused on, the actual workers in the restaurant, which just made it so much more interesting. You had all these hungry, like sometimes naive, but fun, really cool people trying to make it in LA, but while working at one of the hottest restaurants.
Right.
So that was so cool. And we're like, God, what's so funny is that has disappeared from the franchise a long time ago. And, us who worked at Tom Tom and Pump, we're like, if you just put a camera in one of these restaurants, it would have just been amazing because there's such a great
so many personalities.
There's so many personalities from everywhere. And yes, it is diverse working at least a Vanderpump restaurant. Yes, there are straight people, gay people, everything that work at her restaurants.
All ethnicities, all everything.
Ethnicities, and it's just like, gosh, they're missing this moment. And we thought that Tom Tom would get the spinoff, the restaurant Tom Tom, but it looks like Tom and Tom are getting the spinoff at Schwartz and Sandy's. And I wonder how Lisa Vanderpump will play into this. Like, is she an executive producer? Will she be making an appearance?
1,000,000%.
This isn't her restaurant though. So it's like, how is this going to go?
She's definitely going to be an executive producer, but I think why this is so smart is I remember every time you get hired and they do like, they hire for these new restaurants and the openings, they have staff meetings at the very beginning, like, welcome, there will be cameras in here. You could be the next person on the reality show. And they get people excited. And like, I have a few friends, like, like even JoJo, right? Who was like so excited thinking he was going to be like the next star of Vanderpump Rules. And, it's hit or miss, right? Because they don't want people to play things up for the cameras. They just want you to come in and be a dynamic personality who doesn't take shit from anyone. That's like what makes a great reality TV star. Now, when I would talk to Pandora about it, Lisa's daughter, she always made great points. And you know this, Jason, when they would film at SUR, the problem is they couldn't have the same capacity of people inside of the restaurant because they have like 2 different camera crews in there. There's 4 to 8 cameras. There's cords everywhere. The lights come up because they need
the music goes down. The energy changes. Yeah. It's disappointing if you're just a patron that doesn't know anything about Vanderpump Rules and you're coming into like one of these restaurants and you're trying to enjoy it. you know, but for people who are tourists or fans of the show, they love to be there when filming is happening. I do think, though, this is something we were talking about, how they're going to kind of segue into this. Is I think what we're going to see is our Vanderpump Rules finale. There'll be some kind of party at Schwartz and Sandy's. We'll start to meet the cast there, and that will overflow into the premiere of whatever the spinoff will be called.
Right. And I think that that's genius. And originally, we both thought that Sheena's, Mexico wedding will be the finale. That would have made sense, right? But now that I know that her wedding is actually this month and they don't stop filming until September, and I know that people are already being cast for the new spinoff through Evolution Media, I'm like, oh no, you made a good point saying this will probably be a 2-hour finale, like segueing from Vanderpump Rules to Tom and Tom's new show. And it's
just like Beverly Hills at finale of season 1 into Vanderpump Rules.
And it doesn't affect Lisa's pocket, because if you think about it, Pandora's biggest complaint was, it affects our business when we have them filming in here. So now they're not going to be filming in Tom. Well, they'll film there every once in a while, right? But they're not going to have the whole show filming there, because before, for Vanderpump Rules, they would come in and do pickup shots because the cast, they've moved on. They don't actually work in the restaurants. Now, this new cast is going to work at Schwartz and Sandy's, and they'll have the cameras in there all the time. And now that's not going to affect Lisa and Ken's business, which is pretty genius. And since she gave them their start, bet your ass she will be an executive producer 1,000,000%.
We will wait and see. I'm curious, because I think that she will, I think what she adds as an EP will definitely help the show for sure. As long as it doesn't get too scripted. We've seen this with Vanderpump Rules. Remember when Lisa was driving down like Sunset Boulevard and she had a note, like a post-it note on her car, and she was filming. She's like, call James and talk to him about this. It's just become a little too scripted. I am excited for season 10 though. I was calling season 9 the season of completion, but I mean, with all the shit that's happened between Lala, James, and Raquel, I mean, we have storylines, and we have it's not over. Katie and Schwartz. It's not over. So I don't know if this would be it, because I feel like 10 in a decade is like a good number, and I don't know how much more you could do. But
the thing is, too, for new cast members to come in, it could be exciting because they're all going to, obviously, like from what I heard, they're trying to cast people who are from the ages of like 22 to 25 who are trying to break into the business. But if they come on and they try to emulate, like, we have a new resident Stassi or a Lala, if they do that, the show will fail. And it's just kind of like what they did, let's say, with like Salt Lake City. Right. Like I feel like it wasn't really the ladies' fault those first half of season 1, but it was, okay, Meredith, you are Lisa Vanderpump, Whitney, you are this, Jen, you are this. Like it almost like they were playing caricatures. I've said that before, but then they just really came into their own, and they are their own, personalities now. They're not playing off anyone. And I, like you said, I hope that doesn't happen going into Vanderpump Rules season 10, the Tom spinoff. I hope that doesn't happen. They don't need to play those characters. They just need to find really strong, great personalities, and I think it will be a hit for sure. I think it'll be a hit, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, I want to debunk this other thing that came out too. And what's kind of annoying is somebody will post something like the Leah McSweeney throwing elephant shit at someone in Thailand and getting banned from Thailand. Somebody actually just put out a tweet and they didn't realize it was going to get picked up by media outlets and it was going to run wild. And then Leah was like, this would have been iconic, but no, that didn't happen. Sorry to disappoint, guys. Well, there was a new casting rumor that said, this is our cast for the Real Housewives of New York. And then we were finding out that there was someone who's very close to production on Bravo. What is his name? I think it's 9 Daves, Dave Quinn. He posted something or tweeted something out saying it's really pathetic when you have someone who's going to put out a fake tweet in order to get, attention. And I'm guessing it was this woman who's in the top right-hand corner, the blonde woman who's a Broadway star. And I think they're accusing her of putting this out there in order to get more like attention, which is exactly what happened because it got picked up by everyone. But no, guys, this is not our new cast. We have yet to find out who the new cast is for the Real Housewives of New York. We know that they're trying to pull from all boroughs. We know that they're trying to have a younger cast, a more diverse cast, and they're not trying to copy. They're not trying to bring on like a new Ramona. Or
so funny that is every time we would cover New York or talk about hot, messy topics and like adding diversity into the Real Housewives of New York, we said it would be fun to see, just a young, successful person from a different borough in New York, not just the Upper East Side, you know? And so I'm glad that they're going with that.
Yeah. Janelle said that, I believe, is her name Orphe? Is that how you say it? Orphe?
Yeah.
Orphe. She was in the original Broadway cast of Legally Blonde. She was great in that show. Well, I think they're saying that she was the one who leaked this to try to get some attention, which is kind of funny, but
That's
also
brilliant.
Someone asked me, why don't you do a video on the new cast of The Real Housewives of New York? Is that just dead to you? And I was like, no, because this is not a confirmed cast. And we've heard this so many times. I learned my lesson from doing a video on the original cast of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City before it came out. And I had half of the cast right and half of the cast wrong, which is just embarrassing. I don't want to do a video until it's
I did a video on the cast of The Real Housewives of Dubai, who I thought it should be, not who it was or turned out to be. But I would have liked some of those women in Dubai, and maybe we'll get some of them as well.
Yeah. All right.
But I think it would be interesting to have a Broadway star, have someone in finance, have someone in fashion. You know, New York is just this big melting pot of everything, of different, you know.
Let's throw Janelle Sunshine in there.
Let's throw Janelle Sunshine in there. Let's do it.
Real Housewives. About walking past the church and doing like the walk of shame. And she's like, don't look at me. Like,
listen, listen, I'm going to have to say anything. You know, everyone's been asking me and DMing me on Instagram asking if you and I will cover The Real Girlfriends in Paris.
No.
And I have to say, I think they really missed a ship here. It just looks so vile. And I don't want to judge a show before I've seen it. It just looks trashy. And we're not, you know, it's not like Parisian girlfriends or French girls. We're putting Americans, and like, you know, they're kind of playing off like us, Emily in Paris, the successful Netflix show, which is a guilty pleasure of mine. And I would love to see, like, it just looks very like already dumb fights. And
I don't know if people have seen it. Like
annoying Americans in France, in Paris, of all places. I don't know.
And my thing is too, why the hell, like, you know, Vicky Gunvalson is saying they won't bring me back onto the show because I'm too expensive. Caroline Manzo is saying they won't bring me back on the show because I'm too expensive. And Caroline right now would be the perfect person to bring on because she would be Team Gorga and she doesn't care to go up against Teresa. She does not give a shit, but she's too expensive. But yet we're putting our money into new shows like this that nobody cares about.
No, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, why don't you invest and have the shows that are working, the shows that are good, the people who work on these shows that make it so good, invest into that. Keep the show, the quality there. But I feel like this is something, I don't know, maybe it will be good. For me, I'm not even interested in watching it.
I don't think, I mean, listen, I never want to, because I'm sure these girls are so excited. They're like, we made it to Bravo and they really want to share their story. I will give it an episode or two.
For sure. I mean, I love the backdrop, like, you know, like Dubai, Paris is a beautiful backdrop. And it's just like, it just looks like loud, annoying Americans in Paris doing, you know, having fights and things that are against Parisian etiquette completely. And I don't know if that's something I want to watch, but that's how they're making it look. It could be completely different when it comes out. So we have to give it a chance for sure.
We have to give it a chance. Well, speaking of people who, well, someone who hasn't had a chance in a while with Bravo, okay? And now she talks about Bravo, and now she's caught herself in some real deep shit, okay? I want to talk about, and she's a good friend of ours, and I heard, and Dana Wilkey, we love you, but I heard that you shaded my Jen Shaw interview. I did hear that, but I still love you.
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
I think it was light fun shade. And I think she made a comment about how, you know, like Adam's so sweet and innocent and like he wasn't going to get the real story anyways, because people know anyways going into that interview that I had to get everything passed by legal because she was going into, I mean, she's still facing a lot of time behind bars. So yes, we knew that, but I'll take the light shade. So now, Dana, I just have to return the favor because here's some light, it's just a little bit of light shade for you as well. Dorit's over here like this, okay? Like, Dana posted, the fans can't stop talking about this, thoughts, and posted a photo that said, an affair to remember.
Okay, listen. Okay, no, go ahead. I'm going to let you finish. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt, but I have two sides to this.
This could, you know, the problem here is, you know, there are people out there who will look at this and be like, oh my God, there's an actual affair. So I could see why this would be problematic. This would have been funnier had she have made this Maurizio and PK. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that would have been funny and I could have laughed at that. This is just like, I could see where Dorit would be a little bit upset, but I do want to talk about the hypocrisy here. Guys, go ahead and smash that like button.
Well, I mean, also like, did she make this or she just copied this from somewhere? Because
I think she made it.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny.
Dorit Kimsley clapped back and said, "Is something wrong with you, woman? Nothing better to do? You're definitely one of the thirstiest people I've ever seen. I guess it's just as simple as that. Kyle and Mo are our friends, and my kids call them uncle and auntie. Do you think this is okay for my kids to see when it's a disgusting lie? If this is the only way you can make a buck, then so be it, but at least have some decency and stop trying to peddle false narratives, especially when you know there is zero truth behind it, and your whole motive is just to hurt people for no reason. It's sad, pathetic, and bound to bite you in the ass inevitably." Now, the hypocrisy here is, yes, I understand where Dorit is worried about her kids seeing this. However, PK has named Dana Wilkey twice now as the See You Next Tuesday of the week. Her son is very intelligent, can access the internet, can go on social media, and he can go on Radar Online or Reality Blurb, and I don't know if he is. I was reading People magazine at like 6 years old. So who knows? He might be interested in celebrity news, and he can go on and see where his mom is being slammed as a See You Next Tuesday. So really, this is why I don't like social media feuds or feuds in general, because once you open the floodgates,
it just keeps going. And listen, I mean, it's two-way street, of course. You know, when you say something, I mean, Dana has been trashed a lot by Real Housewives. Just because she reports on it, she talks about it, and if you don't have people talking about your show, you know, then it gets kind of boring. Now I understand both sides of it, but the hypocrisy is there, right?
I mean, listen, Chris R said Dorit is right. By the way, hi, new member. Said Dorit is right. You know, people will believe that stuff, and the thing is, you know, that's kind of a problem. It seems like she's crediting Karen Huger's wig for the meme. Oh, she probably is. Okay, so that makes more sense. I mean, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up and bring up Dana Wilkey's, but she reposted it. Obviously, you know, Dorit is going to be pissed off about this, and I think it's just a matter of time, you know, before PK lashes out, right?
Oh gosh. I mean,
see Karen Huger's wig. Is this a thing? Karen Huger's wig. Yes, it is. Oh, well, that's even more of a shady site. I'm not bringing that up, but God, people suck. God,
you can really get lost in Twitter and fall down these rabbit holes. And I kind of wanted to bring up the next subject to talk about, because last week, Anne Heche was in a very serious car accident. And for decades and stuff, it had been alleged that she has had issues with, drinking and all kinds of other stuff. This was a very sad situation, but I was thinking about it because there was this video that popped up, and I think I saw it on Twitter first, or maybe Instagram first.
Scary.
Of her being pushed away in oh, thank you. Yeah, her being pushed away in the stretcher, but then right before going to the ambulance, she kind of like opened the sheet up, and to me it looked like, I don't know, something was wrong with it, and the video just played in my head, and something wasn't adding up to me, because I was like, wait a second. And I thought about this for like 3 days. And then I looked on Twitter and other people shared this concern. So I just wanted to bring up, maybe the live chat has opinions too.
It's very sad.
It looked kind of weird because there was no, oxygen. There was no IV drip, nothing like normal. Like, I don't know if they assumed, I don't know. It was strange, awful situation, but a lot of people are going with some conspiracy theories on Twitter. And I fell down that rabbit hole due to toxic social media, like we were just talking about. But I mean, if anybody's seen 6 Days, 7 Nights, you know how talented Anne Heche was. But it just seems very weird. And I don't want to follow conspiracy theories, but it's like we're going to pull her off of life support today, I think, or they did today. And it was like very planned. It just something didn't sit right with the way that stretcher was being taken away and the way she busted out of it. I don't know if they covered her because she was, suffering from burns. I don't know. It just looked really very weird, right?
Yeah. And the thing is too, is you can get in a lot of trouble talking about conspiracy theories like this on, your channels and stuff. And you can definitely get flagged for it. So I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole.
No. I mean, I'm just saying it's very interesting to read on Twitter. If anybody catches this replay, I would love to get your opinion, in the comments below, if you guys are watching this in a replay or onto Sonia says oxygen can't be near fire. I've also heard that when they go into severe burns and stuff, it is better to cover the body. I was just reading into it. I was like, wow, Twitter is deep. It's like really deep.
I mean, it really is. And that's what, that for our next Let's Whine About It for next Monday, we can talk about some of these social media feuds, but also conspiracy theories, because I'm all about some, conspiracy theories. I mean, ones that make sense. Gabrielle said, hello, I'm subscribed again.
Yay. Sorry, guys. We will be canceling that other membership, the highest membership. I just wanted to give time for people to switch over or to rejoin, and it will keep everything the same for you guys. So I just wanted that, give you time to do that.
I wanted to talk about this too. So over the weekend on Saturday, Kim Zolciak Bierman, her daughter, Ariana, that name is so confusing to me because I never know. Are you an Ariana? Are you an Ariana? I don't actually know what your name is, but I'm going to call you Ariana until I say Ariana. Doesn't matter. Anyways, she was arrested. She's 20 years old, and she was arrested for a DUI. Now, when her mother is very, very, very tone deaf, because her mother posted this right after her arrest and said, my twin, Brielle Bierman, we've had the best weekend. It's like, your daughter just got arrested, okay? But she was arrested on 3 counts. One was for erratic lane change, one was for drinking, underage drinking, and the other one was for drinking and driving. Now, her attorney is saying that the officer who showed up to the site, because she had a minor fender bender, they're saying that the officer who showed up to the site misdiagnosed this whole situation and didn't realize she wasn't drunk. She was actually only anxious. And I'm like, how the do you do that? So possession of alcohol underage. Was there alcohol in the car?
I mean, there had to be alcohol.
Yeah.
And did we give her a breathalyzer test? Like, were these things done? That'd be very interesting.
She's 20 years old. Like, what did you do? Did you just make her, and I understand people can get into car accidents and be very anxious and like erratic. That's something that shakes someone up, right? But how do you misassess the situation? It sounds like somebody either is lying or somebody probably needs to be fired.
It sounds like a completely different story what the lawyer is saying compared to what she was charged with. So it's,
it's not adding up to me. I don't think that, and the thing is here, especially with we saw PK, who was arrested under suspicion of DUI, and he blew over. And then when he was brought to the jail, he blew under. So then he was let go, the station. So my thing is it seems like a lot of people, when you get higher up and you have the right access, that you can get away with some shit. Because really, if you blew over when you were driving, isn't that enough? Does it matter that you would blow under when you got to the station? Why would that matter? You already blew over. And of course, it's going to slowly kind of go down as time passes. So do you have friends in high places? And then for Kim's daughter, obviously they have the money. They have the funds to hire an attorney. And this attorney is like, this is bullshit. She was anxious. My client was not drinking. And I'm like, you can't, this is a very easy thing not to gut. Okay. I can look at somebody and I could be like anxious, drunk, anxious, drunk.
100%.
Anxious, drunk. Yeah.
It's so interesting because I always kind of feel for these girls too, because we've watched them grow up on reality television. Kim Zolciak has been like the queen of, I don't want to say the queen of reality TV, but the queen of changing things. And now the girls have also changed their looks and their appearances and their social media. And it's just, I almost feel sorry for them that they're so wrapped up in this world. You know what I mean? And you just start to make poor choices. Poor choices. It's like when Bella Hadid had her, her DUI, growing up around the limelight. I mean,
I don't think her DUI stuck either.
I don't think so.
But your father is Mohammed Hadid, who runs Beverly Hills. So,
well, yeah, kind of.
I mean, to an extent, listen, there's a lot of power and influence in some of these families. I don't know how much power and influence Kim Zolciak has with her red Solo cup, but I'm saying there's some influence, and a lot of people, your average Joe would not get away with this shit. You know what I mean? Like if you got arrested and you blew what PK blew, you're going to jail.
Garcelle even pointed that out on 2 episodes ago on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, she did say that. She's like, I wouldn't have been. Didn't she say something to the effect of like, I wouldn't have been let go?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
strange, but
I do kind of agree, though. I think that some people, like, for example, to say that this could not be true would be absolutely asinine. Like, you have Tom Girardi out there allegedly dealing with like higher up judges and having things passed under the table. And there was like a whole alleged ring of people who were higher ups who were helping run this alleged Ponzi scheme for a long time. To think that people with higher influence can't get people out of shit, that's silly. That is absolutely ridiculous. I mean,
very true.
Yeah. Once you blow over, it's over.
That's what I thought. But what is next on the agenda?
All right, Ariana, I'll leave you and your little DUI alone. Okay, girl, go on. So I want to talk about some Real Housewives of Atlanta because we see some real thirst going on, and this week's episode was good. But Kenya Moore, if you didn't watch this week's episode, Kenya Moore has been talked about going into the season as, you know, changing the way that she is perceived. She doesn't want to be the villain that everyone, you know, claims her to be anymore. She wanted to show a softer side of her. She is being messy as hell. She definitely is. She's being messy as hell, and she is shading the hell out of Sanya Richards-Ross. Now, they went to Jamaica, and Sanya is trying to put together this like trip where they go around and they see some of the most, you know, like iconic places in her life that really helped shape who she is and where she started out before she became this Olympic gold medalist. And I think that's sweet. Like, let's give her her flowers. She won the Olympics. Like, that's amazing. That's huge. And you know that. Actually, people don't know this, but Jason was invited to the Olympics. So fun fact.
Well, no, I could have I was a world champion in trampoline and tumbling, but no, it wasn't for me because my sport was still a demonstration sport in 2000. So I couldn't have gone until 2004. And by that time I was already performing for Cirque du Soleil, and that's where I wanted to be. But I do have to say, it is cool to watch this. I'm so glad she does a trip better than she did a birthday party at her house.
Yes.
But Kenya is like walking herself into some situations lately. Like, she's just kind of fighting with people to fight. It seems like it's especially when it comes to Sanya. I really think she, you know, she had this moment of like, why can't you be on time? Why can't you show up on time? And then every time Sanya confronts you, you're giving a story about Brooklyn and you know, her relationship with her father, and just kind of crying about that, which I understand.
It's deflection, no.
But it is, and it seems like deflection from the outside, and Sanya's calling that out a little bit. But I thought that was very interesting. It seems like she was doing everything in her power to just not care, kind of like what she did with Marlo's trip almost.
We could go down the line and everyone has a problem. Marlo is trying to figure out how to be a Muntie, a parent over here. Kandi has people trying to break into her house. You know, then you have She by Sheree, who doesn't have any fashions for her fashion show. Like, we could go down the list and everybody has a problem. Drew Sidora is over here ripping apart her Achilles every time we turn around.
Oh, and I know I've torn both my Achilles. I've ruptured both of them. So I know how that feels. And when she said that, and you know, especially if you've done it before, like she has, you know, when that moment happens, it's terrible. It's the worst pain. It makes the loudest sound. I feel bad for her in this moment. I do have to say, and I said this before, and we can talk a little more about Atlanta, of course, but I am enjoying Kenya this season a lot. I'm enjoying Drew, which I didn't think I would after last season. I really like this group of women.
Yeah. Definitely Tess said, oh, wow, can you still tumble and stuff?
A little bit. Like, I'm pushing 40 and I've had 7-8 surgeries on my body, invasive. So I hurt a lot.
By the way, guys, we got another new mattress today.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the members live.
Okay. Natalie Palmer, real quick, and we're not going to make this about memberships, but great question, Natalie. How do you switch membership? That's a Jason question.
Yeah, it should let you. I mean, people have had different experiences. Some had to cancel and rejoin right away. It keeps your you know, how long you've been, the length of your membership, it keeps it going, so it's fine. And some people were able to change it. So I've heard both ways. YouTube is making it very hard. YouTube is also like not making it easy to find a join button if you're on a mobile device.
Right.
So I know that kicks in a little later, but
I mean, listen. Okay, let's get back to this for a second. Okay. Kenya made them wait 40 minutes for nothing. That's the thing that's where it's disrespectful. And I could go on a rant about this all day. I don't play with two things, family or my time. And I just had a situation this week, and it's one of my best friends. And I 3 days in a row, and I'm not going to put her on blast, but 3 days in a row, like, hey, yes, let's meet up. I'm canceling on you. Hey, yes, let's meet up. Last minute, I'm canceling on you. Hey, yes, let's meet up. But wait, you're going to drive, 30 minutes, but I actually only have an hour. We're not going to hang out all day. And I'm like, I'm moving things around for you. And nothing pisses me off more than somebody wasting someone's time. It's like, there's so many other things that you could be doing, especially for someone, who's putting together a trip and they're trying to film. And Kenya made Sonia wait 40 minutes, which is annoying. And then you're sitting there and you're taking your time. You're opening the curtains. You're like, wow, what a beautiful beach day, taking photos. And then finally, you knew that you weren't going to make it on time. You love to make an entrance, just like we did in Blue Ridge, where she showed up late to Marlo's, dinner. She loves to make an entrance, and she's trying to be annoying in that regard, which is honestly, ask Kandi about someone's time. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And, the other thing that I kind of thought was disrespectful too, because, Sonia did invite the ladies on this trip. It is also a work trip for her, but she is really trying to show them Jamaica. And I really do I loved seeing where Sonia's from and, meeting her auntie like we did this week. But it's sometimes it seems like Kenya's looking for an excuse to kind of have a fight. Like, you didn't call and check in on me, and Sheree says she felt the same way. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it's a work trip and you're being very almost kind of.
And you guys went on a catamaran and partied.
Right.
And also you weren't on top. Listen, Marlo made it. Okay. Like, you guys were being, this is a fake storyline. Like, you're not actually offended that you didn't get to go and watch someone film a commercial. First of all, anybody who knows filming a commercial is one of the most annoying things, and it sucks. And you sit around and it's a lot of waiting, and it's a lot, like, if you're me, I had to do this awful commercial. I won't name the company, but I had to do an awful commercial, and I had to sit in a car and pretend like I was laughing and on my phone, and I had to redo it like 500 times because they're like,
oh, but that was a good one.
Yeah, well, you thought it was good. I thought it was annoying. Yeah. Remember, I was there for 15 hours.
Do you remember when we left the airport in Bangkok and you were like everywhere?
Yeah, well, it was this cool car commercial sort of. My point is, commercials are boring. They suck when they're like, you're trying to film them. It's just like a lot of waiting around. It's more so the people who are putting together the commercial, like the camera, the lighting. Those people are the ones who are constantly like hands-on. And then you just wait around and sit there and like eat the, why did I want to call it commissary food? What kind of food is it? What is the food?
I don't know. Oh, like craft services?
Craft
like that
services.
Kind of thing?
Yes,
commissary food. What are you?
I don't know. I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about Ariana going to jail, I guess. So anyways, getting back to it, it's not a big deal. You didn't make it. You didn't make the bus. She told you when the bus was, okay? If you didn't make it, that's on you. This is 2 times now where you were late, being disrespectful, and I get where Sonia would be annoyed, but Sonia's trying to avoid this entire fight. She's like, I don't want to talk about this. It's not a big deal. You didn't make it. You went on the catamaran. Give it up. Who gives a shit? And I agree with her. I'm like, yeah, you're right. If you're not complaining about it, it's your event. You're the one filming. You're working. Why are they going to complain about it? You also, I agree with her when she said Kenya could have just gotten another taxi or a bus like she did the first day that she missed and she was 2 hours late.
Yeah, I agree. I do have a question for you and live chat too, guys. What are we thinking about Sonia's rookie season on The Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because the first kind of few episodes, I wasn't feeling it. And I just feel like she is a personality and she's great for the show.
And she's not taking shit from anyone, and she's being very direct. Like, if there's a problem, she sat Drew down. She sat Kenya down. She's like, correct. Like, let's talk about it.
She comes straight to the source and straight to the problem. And I wonder if, because, Sonia comes off kind of in a way like she doesn't need to prove herself because she's proven herself. She won the gold medal. She's with her husband, who's also extremely successful. Like, I don't think she needs to prove herself to anyone. And it just comes off a little more, she comes off more seasoned. And for her rookie season on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, it's great. I think she's fantastic.
I think she comes off more seasoned too. I'm not feeling Sonia. She can be a little flip-floppy though. What housewife is not flip-floppy?
I mean, we love our flip-floppy housewives, okay?
Yes. I mean, like the most iconic housewives always bring their friends onto the show, and then when they bring their friends onto the show, they turn on them. Like that's like it's Lisa Rinna. Hi, Kara Grant, new member. Hi, new member. And then also Jenna Benna.
Yes, Jenna and Benna. Guys, we really do have lots of great content coming up, behind the scenes stuff. and everything too. So exciting. And some big news next week. I think we're going to drop something next week, so that should be fun.
Yeah, well, no, we got to figure something else out about it, but yes,
we
have some work to do before we tease any of that. But I wanted to talk about two things. Sanya Richards-Ross came in, and obviously we know, like, she's going to get another season, 100%. She'll be back. I think Portia Williams will be back as well. And then on top of that, you have someone who finally got her peach. Marlo Hampton is trying the hell out of Kandi Burruss this season, which came out of nowhere. I don't understand it. And Kandi has no time. She's like, Kandi, remember she was trying to talk to her on the bus, and she's like, Kandi, did you see that Portia, what, she got a Rolls Royce? Simon gifted her a Rolls Royce. And she's like, girl, go on. Don't talk to me. I don't want you to talk to me.
I think Kandi, if you really, it's kind of, she lets you poke at her for a minute, and then when she's done, she's done.
Yeah,
and that's it.
She doesn't play around. Like, when you start talking about her family or her businesses, that's where, and I have a lot of respect for that, because she's worked her ass off, right? So now you're sitting here and you're disrespecting her husband and you're disrespecting her family. And Kandi was getting annoyed because Marlo was giving Drew's husband, Ralph, a lot of shit for not adopting her son. Well, Ralph came from a place, and I understood where he was coming from. I don't, like his book to being a step parent, I don't know. I mean, I am curious about that. I don't want to down anyone's business. I
mean, listen, he did come out and say that, he thought he knew what he was doing. He thought he had all the answers, and then he didn't. And he wants to write about those experiences. And
it could help someone.
I think so too. I think it's not a bad idea.
I don't think it's a bad idea either. And I thought Marlo giving him shit, I thought that was kind of wrong because she didn't know the whole story. And that's what Kandi was saying. She's like, he's not adopting her son because the biological father still wants to be present in his life. So then he made the decision, I'm going to step back and I'm not going to adopt, but I'm going to still treat you like my son and be a step parent. That makes sense, okay? And then Marlo's over here grilling him, and Kandi's like, wait a minute, you just gave your boys back and you took a 30-day break, and most parents don't get to do that, so why are you going in on him? And then we get the iconic line of, bitch, I'm worldwide, because Marlo's like, Kandi,
I'm telling you, it's so funny when there's that saying, don't throw, oh my God, please help me with this. I'm so tired today. Don't throw stones at glass houses. Right?
That's the thing. It's like
just don't do that. Like, you have your own problems with the same kind of situation. You have no right to be judging someone else on whether or not they're adopting someone who he had a discussion with the father. And this is just they made a choice.
I mean, by the way, I saw this. Pam Edwards said, Adam, I got to go, but please read my DMs. I just tried again. I'm in need of a real good mattress. Please let me know what helps you. I've had 21 surgeries, so any help would be wonderful. This is another Jason question.
Listen, we will talk about this on the Members Only Live, because we have been through 9 mattresses?
9 mattresses, guys.
And I feel bad because, and we've tried them here and there, but it's just, Adam has had a very strenuous neck injury. I've had, my God, 7 surgeries on my body, 8. I want to say it's 8. So invasive surgeries. And it's just hard to find that. And sleep is so important. And sometimes an expensive mattress isn't always a good one.
Right. But I mean, you can also check on my Instagram. Now
we need to do a whole members live of just the mattress saga from beginning to end.
I'm ready for it to be over.
It's over. I think it's over, guys, but
we'll
talk more about that later.
But I do want to hear what your thoughts are on Marlo going in on Kandi. Do you think that, how are you liking her being a full-time peach holder this season? Do you think that was it a good decision, or do you think it was a poor decision?
I go back and forth on it, because I don't know. I was excited for Marlo to get the peach, and I don't know.
Marlo, Kandi's not the one. Go after Kenya.
How I feel about that.
Go play with Kenya. Kandi's like,
go play with Kenya.
Kandi's like, I get people kicked off the show all the time.
I mean, I almost feel like Marlo made a really good friend. I do too. And then now that she is a housewife, I don't know if she's holding. Is the peach too heavy? What's going on? I don't know.
I was talking about, and I know this is sidebar, I was laughing because I was showing Jason from the Casper post, like how many housewives are watching that, like my Instagram stories. And I'm like, this is so funny. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I don't know. They watch. But I was talking to one of the Real Housewives of Orange County about Taylor Armstrong being a friend, and they didn't even understand. And I'm like, I understand that it's kind of iconic in the Bravo, you know, housewives world of a housewife being the first one to ever transition to a different franchise. But did we drop the ball again?
I don't know.
I didn't think
know.
she really
We're gonna
brought
have
it
to
to
wait and
Ultimate
see.
Growth Trip.
I don't think so either. And like Taylor Armstrong has never been one that I think you really completely like. There are different housewives from Beverly Hills that I miss, right?
Right.
I don't know. I might have brought back Carlton before I brought back Taylor Armstrong.
That would actually be funny because Carlton hates, like that would just be a whole shit show. Are you fucking kidding me? Remember when she, yeah.
Yes.
God. All right. So to kind of cap us off, guys, again, don't forget to smash that like button. I did want to talk about this really quick because this got debunked. There has been a whole feud, and I'm so sick of talking about it, but it's happening. It's hot, and people want to know about it. Teresa Giudice, Melissa Gorga, and Joe Gorga are not getting along. Yes, we know that. But originally, it was because Teresa didn't invite Melissa to be a part of the wedding party. However, what we just found out, thanks to Roxanne at All About the Real Housewives, which Roxanne's on her shit and her podcast is booming, we just found out that Melissa was in fact invited to be a part of the wedding party when they started filming for season 13. Teresa, Melissa, and Joe were back in a good place, right? And then after Teresa added Dolores, Jennifer, and Melissa, asked all three of them, she asked them all together, would you guys like, I'm expanding my bridal party, would you guys like to be a part of it? Dolores and Jennifer were like, listen, we know that sometimes things change with weddings. You add people, you take people away. It's your big day, whatever you want. We just want to be there to support you. Melissa was like, no, girl, you already embarrassed me and now it looks like a sympathy vote. I'm not doing this shit. So then after Joe was asked by Louis, and he thought this was another sympathy ask, you know, he said to Louis, yes, I'll be a part of your wedding party. But after Melissa declined, then Joe said, you know what? I'm backing out too. I don't want to be a part of it.
I mean, it does kind of, listen, that is your brother and his wife. Okay. Like the kids have grown up together. Don't you think they would have been the first to be part of the party?
Yes. But I think Teresa, you know, people make mistakes. My thing is, I want to ask everyone in the live chat this too. People make mistakes, right? Hi, Lamb. Welcome. I understand that, you know, things happen, but she did come back and offer them to be a part of the wedding party. So at that point, she recanted, and you're losing this argument because now it just seems like you got your ego hurt. You got your feelings hurt a little bit. She did come back and ask you, and then you said no, you declined. So at that point, what are we talking about? First, she snubbed you, yes, but then she offered you to be a part of it, and then you declined. You can't complain about it anymore.
I know, but then it makes for a better storyline to watch next season of Real Housewives of New Jersey. So it's here for it. Although we've watched this over and over again. It's this tumultuous relationship that they can't really fix even when they try. And I guess it's just going to carry over another season.
Right. I mean,
and I'm here for it. I'm okay with it. Jersey never disappoints.
She asked Melissa at the 11th hour to try and cover for Dina backing out. I don't blame Melissa at all. She actually reportedly asked her before they started filming Real Housewives of New Jersey season 13, which means if that is in fact true, she asked her like 2-3 months before the wedding. That's plenty of time.
Yeah.
On display. Yes. Pity invite. Yes. I mean, who knows? I'm sure we're going to find out on the Real Housewives of New Jersey season 13. I cannot wait for it. But coming up at the end of September, we have the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 3. And then after that, we have Real Housewives of Potomac premiering early October. I'm so excited to get our Potomac ladies back. And then I'm guessing, I hope they don't put Orange County before New Jersey. I'm hoping that we get New Jersey first. And I think with all of the buzz and Teresa's wedding trending on Twitter, that we will get New Jersey.
Well, and now adding like Taylor and bringing back Tamra, I feel like they need to like figure out their like, you know, the formula again to make OC like fun watchable. You know what I mean? I feel like they need to take their time with this season. I feel like New Jersey is ready to come out the door.
The problem, and when I was talking to this housewife from Orange County, I said the problem is we had a highly anticipated return from Heather Dubrow, which we know she doesn't bring a lot of the drama, but she brings the opulence. Tamra Judge will hold everyone accountable. She will get in your face. She will scream at you. That's my opinion. She will freak the fuck out. But if she comes in and she's like, she has beef with Heather Dubrow. Heather Dubrow tried blocking her from returning to the show because of her podcast. She has beef with Shannon Bedore. If she comes in and immediately gives us that resolution and doesn't drag it out a little bit, we have a dead show. Tamra should be getting paid the most.
Yeah, it has to be dragged out. I do understand Vicky not coming back though, and not being asked to because we were talking about this last night, the night before.
Yeah, and
how she's just kind of not in a bad way, and not her age, but she has aged out. And I think of the franchise, just we've seen Vicky.
Yeah,
we've come through all of these stories with Vicky. We've been on journeys with Vicky, and I feel like that's good.
I don't think it's that, it's not that disrespectful. Like Cynthia Bailey, when you say aged out, I don't think you're, like you said, it's
I'm not talking about age. I'm just saying you've given us all that you have to give.
Your story came full circle.
We want to watch. Yeah, your story came around. It's great. Cynthia Bailey had a great story. I mean, but
married, divorced,
she was okay with it. She even said it herself.
Yeah, she said it was her time.
Yeah,
and now she keeps on saying, she keeps saying she lives in Beverly Hills, like she lives in LA, but she would go and she would love to be a part of Beverly Hills, but her husband has a house in Porter Ranch. Like, I think that's the farthest corner of LA you can get.
None of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills live in Beverly Hills.
Sutton does.
Anymore. Sutton does. I believe Lisa Rinna does.
Kathy Hilton does.
Kathy Hilton.
Crystal Kung Minkoff does.
Crystal Kung Minkoff. Okay, we do have some. Yeah, because it was becoming Real Housewives of Encino for a minute.
And Cherise Zampino, doesn't she live in Beverly Hills? Or does she live in the Valley?
Why do I think she's Calabasas-ish? Maybe I'm just thinking of Will Smith.
She could be.
I don't know.
I want Cynthia on Beverly Hills. They've come full circle. Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, Jen Shaw has given us all she has to give. Well, I don't think that. I'm surprised, by the way. I haven't and I always get DMs about this. I have not spoken to Jen, but I'm surprised, and I'm wondering if and I would love to ask her about this. I'm sure it's not her priority, but I'm wondering if they tried to pick up the cameras for season 4 to get as much as possible. But then again, her sentencing is not till the end of November now. So they can pick up the cameras in September and have all of September, all of October, all of November, and end us off with that, because the Housewives always film from anywhere from like 3 to 5 months and then pick up shots.
Mm.
Do you think that they'll squeeze in a 4th season for her?
I think it would be best for the show to give it the story, but it's kind of really up to her as well.
Yeah, it's up to her. All right, guys. 355 in the room. But
we've hung out with Cynthia in LA a couple of times, and she is she knows LA. I don't know if I would really be opposed to having Cynthia Bailey on Beverly Hills at a new part of her life, like in this new zone with these new girlfriends. I
would way rather have her as our crossover than Taylor.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? But
100%.
I think also Beverly Hills, the problem is, and that's why I believe and we didn't talk about this, but the rumor is that we're losing 2 or 3 of our housewives and they're going to be replaced. I mean, Bravo just opened the doors for crossovers. Cynthia Bailey could come in, and the women, she is good. She has good reads, and she's fun, and she's high energy. Like, she's infectious, especially in person. Oh my God. And I remember the first time meeting her walking into Pump, her presence, like when she walks in, all eyes are just like,
oh yeah, she has such a presence. I'm actually not mad about that, because I've always felt she had a little more like,
I don't think Kyle would like that, because remember, her and Kyle didn't get along on the show on Ultimate Girls Trip.
That's great.
But I don't know who she would. But also, Cynthia Bailey has been in this game for a long time, like in the Bravo game. And she used to remember those upfronts that they would do? Yes. And it would be like Kim Zolciak throwing a snowball and Kyle Richards like catching it. And it was like all the different housewives I miss those. But she knows all of the housewives. So it would be very easy to kind of put her in there. She knows all of them.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, she's been around a while. Now she's living out there. Yeah.
Allison Acidland said it's allegedly Diana, Dorit, and Crystal. I heard that it's going to be Lisa Rinna who's getting put on pause. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know that for sure. I mean, none of us know anything. Bravo hasn't confirmed it. So I don't want to be like one of those channels that go on and say, guess what, guys? I got the tea.
No, we don't know.
And then it doesn't come out. Yeah, then you look like an idiot. And I don't want to look like an idiot. I have enough problems without that. All right. Cynthia, Garcelle, and Sutton would be an amazing team.
Agreed.
Cynthia would probably come in and, I don't know. Garcelle and Cynthia walk into a room, boom. All right.
I mean, yeah, this isn't, it's not a bad choice. And it's also a familiar face. And like we talked about before, Bravo is like putting out, instead of investing in their OG talent, let's say, they're making all these new shows that a lot of people are not, like The Real Girlfriends in Paris. I don't know how that's going to do.
Right.
We like familiar faces. We like our OGs. So I think it's not a bad idea.
I mean, I agree. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call this a day on this one. We have another video coming out after this. We're going to meet up with a new friend, which that's exciting. We have, oh my God, we're meeting up with a lot of Bravo people this month.
A lot.
Tomorrow, maybe Miami this weekend. All right, and then Los Angeles. Okay, guys.
Okay.
All right, guys. Don't forget to, and I know I said this at the beginning, but since we have more people in the room, Monday, every second and fourth week of the month. So the second week and the last week on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're doing Let's Whine About It, where Jason and I get a little bit more personal, share some stories, talk about things that aren't just Bravo. And then we have another behind the scenes vlog coming the second week of September from our trip to California, because we're doing another sit down interview. Get ready for this one. It's going to be insane. But we love you guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. If you want to join memberships and you don't know how, a lot of people have said that, you can go click the link that's pinned in the live chat, and we'll see you next time. Jason, did I hit everything?
Yeah, you hit everything. I'll also add that to your description with all your other handles, just in case people are looking for it. It will be in the description of all your videos from here on out.
Yes. All right, guys. We love you.
Oh, and thank you for the super chat, TT Doll. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank you for catching that. Hi, faves. The old Bish of Norway just here to say that if Kyle and Dorit are fired, I am leaving. Am I the only one who needs some OGs to watch? No, Kyle won't be fired.
Well, like I said, we like our OGs. We like our OGs. This is something that, Bravo hasn't been listening to. So
yeah, stop giving us bullshit shows like The Real Girlfriends of Paris.
Or stop bringing these new ones who don't do anything for the show, or
use the budget on
viewers.
Yeah. Give us, use the appropriate budget. And also, I even complained about this, sorry, last rant, but Real Housewives of New York doing the reboot, it makes no sense. Why are we doing Legacy and then a reboot? I don't even know if people are going to be into that, but I don't want to sit here and they need to pivot. Reality television needs to pivot, or else Housewives, it's like we're getting it's like dinosaurs. I slowly see the asteroid coming to hit the Housewives universe. I don't want to be a part of that sinking ship though. So we love you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye everyone.
Thank you for the super chat, TT Doll. Bye.